on behalf of the host of the International Academic Seminar. We are thankful the keynote speakers, 3 panelists and moderator. So, I will not repeat their names again. So, I would like to share some the idea and observation. Topic today, Tipitaka, Dhamma heritage must be preserved. Of course, you have to know Pali. Without knowing Pali, you cannot understand the translation. I will talk about my experience. So, I had been trained in the system of monastic education. When I was 13 years old, when I was novice, we have to memorize the Christian convocation. At that time, we don't know the meaning what we summarize, we memorize. And then I finished the 9th class. Actually, we have to use only 8 years. For me, I used 12 years. So I didn't pass for 4 years. And later on, I went to Pune University to study at the modern education. I used to study 2 systems as modern education as well as modern education. I found that if you know only Pali language, perhaps you may be narrow-minded. You have to study that the Sanskrit and practice. I mean that's Aratamakati, that's the Chinese. Why? Because the Pali language is the early Middle Indo-Aryan, including Aratamakati. So I had good opportunity to study both languages, Sanskrit and Aratamakati. I have good background of the Pali language. Therefore, I don't know Sanskrit. I used to learn in Thailand for I think that just 1 week. And we could not write the Devanagari scripts. So I began to study Sanskrit in Pune University because I learned the MA in Pali and Sanskrit. Syllabus, we have 8 papers, 6 papers in Pali and 2 papers in Sanskrit. So we have to learn. So I listen to all of you, speakers as well as listeners. I will mention about the Tipitaka. As you know that Dhammapatha, okay, Dhammapatha, Dhammabot in Thai language. So, this Dhammapatha has been translated only in English translation. We have quite many. I have selected with my personal library more than 30 translations. So if you don't know Pali language, hardly to compare whose translation is good. Why? Translators, they are not Buddhists, they are Christian, and perhaps they believe in Hinduism. So if some student ask me, I advise them to select 3 translations of the Dhammapada. 1 for the Buddhists, that is the Venerable Naratha Dela. He has translated the Dhammapada, and in that Dhammapada, he summarized of the story, the Dhammapada Attakatha. So he follow that Dhammapada commentaries. So he is the representative of the Buddhists. So he didn't criticize. He followed because he is Buddhist. So we are monks. When we learn, we don't have any question. We have to follow because we learn the Pali with sattha first. So we don't want to criticize. We are fed of the papa. Papa. We are fed of papa. So we didn't criticize. So this is a representative of the Buddhist. He is a monk from Sri Lanka. Venerable Naratha Dela, he is expert in the Abhidhamma. According to my knowledge, he was the first monk, I think. He translated Abhidhamma for the Palithic Society. For the Palithic Society. From this for the monks. Second one, that is Dhammapada, was translated by K.R. Norman. K.R. Norman, he is a Christian, now he passed away. He used to be the president of the Palithic Society. Professor Norman, he is philologist, linguist, you could say. So, if you read his translation, that book was published by the Palithic Society. That is just the word of the doctrine. Okay. So his translation is based on New Christian edition of the Dhammapada. Actually, Dhammapada by Palithic Society, we have 2 versions. So one, if I remember by Turiya Gota, Sri Lankan professor, new edition by Professor Hinnober and K.R. Norman. Professor Hinnober, he is a German scholar. So he used the, Dr. Suchada said that he used the Lana, okay, manuscripts from what, from Laihin. At the footnotes, he said that some verse is better reading more than Dhammapada we preserve, according to him. So, if you know that if you want to know about the language, I think K.R. Norman is good. And sometimes he disagrees with the protocol Sahacharya. Some he did not accept the interpretation given by Puttakosa Jariya according to his idea. The third one, Dhammapatha was translated by Latha Kisanan. Latha Kisanan, he was the second president of India. If you study Indian philosophy, you have to know his name. He is the best Indian philosopher. I mean the modern. Professor Latha Kisanan, he has translated that the Dhammapatha. No man is a Christian. Of course, Latha Kisanan is a Hindu. So if you have this, the one set of the secret book of the East, edited by Professor Max Muller, later on was reprinted in India by Motilal Manoj Das, and the publishers asked him to write in the preface. Latha Kisanan said that Lord Buddha was reformer of Hinduism, not founder. This is his idea. So if you read the Dhamma translation, he compared with the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, some Dhammasastra, etc. So I think these three translations and three religions, so you will get the idea. So if you know the Pali, only the Pali, and if you read this, you have to put English, you command in English. And if you are narrow-minded, so you will criticize Norman and Latha Kisanan. So you have to open minded. This is very important. So therefore, I request all of you when you read translation, first of all, you have to know the Pali language. Pali language has been preserved in Thailand, in Sri Lanka, in Myanmar. They are the same. Some minor readings, they are different. Some minor readings. For example, the Pali Text Society, the first founder of Pali Text Society, Professor Reed Davis. At that time, British colonized Sri Lanka. He went there to work for the British government. Reed Davis, he learned the Pali language in the Sri Lanka. When he came back to England, he founded the Pali Text Society. He was the first president. When he died, his wife, Miss Davis, was the second president. Therefore, if you look at the Roman edition of Pali Text Society, that Roman edition stands for the Sinhalese edition. You look at the preface. I mean old edition. So when you learn Pali, okay, with that Tipitaka, Dhamma heritage must be reserved. We are at the monks. Of course, we have to learn. We have to preserve. Particularly Sankha, Thai Sankha, modern education. I have been trained from the Samanera, from the novice. We have to learn by heart. And monks, they have to go to the opposite hall in the morning chanting. In chanting, they preserve teaching of Lord Buddha. We don't criticize. However, modern education, that's particularly by Westerners, when they study the Pali language, they are Christian, they are not Buddhist. They are very few. If you look at the translation, most of the Veterans they are Christian. They study the Pali language or Tipitaka as the wisdom of the world. They think that the Lord Buddha is the most famous thinker of the world, similar to Plato, Socrates, etc. So therefore, they criticize. Okay, if it is agree, criticize. So therefore, when you read the translation of the Westerners, you have to be open-minded. Okay, of course, you don't agree with them, even though when I was when I was student in India, at the time my English is very poor. Very poor. Why? Because we finished Pali 9th grade here in Thailand. I did study in MCU. When I finished 9th grade, I went to India to train not only the Sanskrit and Prakrit, including English. I found that some of the Westerners, so sometimes they understood the Pali. Sometimes mistranslation. How could I know? Because we could list English when we compare many translations. So therefore, when you want to study, I have to closing ceremony. We have to don't speak too much. Otherwise, so I want to give you some the idea. Okay. So therefore, Tipitaka. If we are monks, we have to learn to preserve. We don't set up the question. We don't ask the question. Even though we have some doubts, we don't ask. We have to follow. We have to pay respect. We are afraid of the Papa. Okay. We are afraid of. Because one letter is equal to the Buddhist statues, according to the Venerable Sopa said. That we believe. So that we don't criticize. But Westerners are perhaps some Thai scholars, they have been trained from the Western's methodology, perhaps they criticize. So we are the monks, we are the Buddhists. So when we study the Western methodology, so we have to be open-minded. This is very important point. Otherwise, you will not get more knowledge. If you read, you are Christian, you are not Buddhist, or you you criticize, so you will not get more knowledge. Some observation were given by the Westerners. I think we have to think over. Even though we did not agree with it, we have to think over. So this is the point. Some observation I suggest you when you want to study Pali through English translation. So you have keep in your mind that you have to be open-minded. Otherwise, you will criticize. So I told you that Buddhist we don't talk Christian, they are normal. That's Dr. Kisanan, he believes in Hinduism. So I don't say that he criticized everything. Just some his understanding of the Buddhism. Sometimes we disagree with them. So we are thankful all of you to listen to this seminar on behalf of the director of the Tipitaka Study Institute. We are thankful all of you again. May the Tibetan James, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha protect all of you. Thank you very much.